Hey there guys, and welcome to another one of my videos. Tonight we're going to talk about how to clean your rotary electric shaver. And what I've got here is and I've done videos with it before, my Philips Norelco 5000 series shaver. We're just going to talk about how to do a daily clean. We're not going to talk about how to do the deep clean. I just shaved and I'm noticing I'm just missing a couple little spots here, so want to go in and just get that cleaned up real nice. And so how do we get into this? We're going to talk about that in just a moment. Let me get a toothbrush and show you exactly what we're going to do here. Alright, so what you're going to want to do is, first off, as you can see, this shaver comes with, you can fully remove the foil, or I mean the screens and cutters, these rotary discs, right off here, but it's got this little top part that just pops right open. And it came off on me. Imagine that. But generally tends to, that's where it contains your the hairs. After they've been cut, you want to take those and tap them out. You want to go in after that, and you want to just brush this. Get any kind of little pieces that are in there. Take them in and just brush them out real well. These little spindles here, which drive the discs inside. Now, how do we get the cutting head assembly out? Is it's got these blue plastic things under the discs. And when we remove this, we'll just set all of them right together. And you can take all these out. And you'll just pop them out individually, one by one. I'll go ahead and put every one right on top of one another. Pull these little heads apart, and we'll go in one by one, and we'll brush them out, and then we'll put them back together. It's a real easy process that, you know, I usually do that about once a week, and then, you know, once a year, I'll probably go in and get a little bit of solution, and then sharpen them on things. What you really want to be careful to do is you want to just get in here in each and every one of these little discs with the toothbrush. Just kind of tap it out. Get any little excess hairs that'll get in there, because those can create bacteria. They can affect your shaving performance if they can build up, which is really what you're going for, is you're trying to maximize the performance of these. Try to keep them lasting as long as you can. Now, Philips Norelco, and then your foil shavers like Braun and Remington, they're going to try to tell you that once a year, 18 months to 2 years, you need to go in and purchase a new set of heads and cutters, you know, foils, rotary discs, blades, because they get dull. They do go dull in about that much time if you use them pretty regularly, and depending on, you know, how often you're shaving, ritual it tends to be. But the thing about it is that these can be saved, and they can last for, you can make the same original cutters and heads last for the same amount of time as the actual shaver and body and everything else is completely working for. There's no need to go out and spend and set yourself back 18, 20 bucks or over on a new set of blades every couple of years. At that point, you're pretty close to being able to just set yourself back on a cheap newer razor. And this is a good razor. I'd rather have it for as long as I possibly can. Now, what you can actually do with these, and I'll show you this in a video sometime when it actually needs to be done after they get dull. You get a little bit of a solution. It's like epoxy. And what you do is you set these down on like a mirror or some kind of glass, and you just spin them. You just spin these cutters a few times, and it sharpens the lifter and the cutter until they get a sharp edge back so that they're able to more cleanly cut the whiskers off without causing irritation or tug and pull where they're ripping at your face. At the point where you're shaving and, you know, you're able to maintain a good shaving ritual of shaving your beard every 1 or 2 days, but you still get irritating tugging and pulling, stuff like that, it's probably time that you need to go in and get a new, sharpen your blades. And you can do that. There's plenty of videos on YouTube that show you just how to do that. It's very inexpensive. It's not very time consuming, and it'll definitely prolong the life of your razor. Makes your investment just that much more worthwhile. Okay, so to put these back in, you want to make sure that the little wings inside the discs fit right where they're supposed to before you snap these into place. They want to fit real good and real snug. Like so. The first one's back in. Let's go ahead and put the second one back in now. If you notice that little wing right there at the top that sticks out at the top of the disc, there's a little hole right in there in which it has to go in to completely expose this little cutting mechanism to the rest of the razor so that you can go in and shave it. And you know, I recommend when you do this that you get it wet. Sometimes to do a less time-consuming cleaning, you can just tap out the little excess hairs from the shave. I recommend doing that once after every shave just to minimize the dirt and debris that collects inside them. Keeps the cutter spinning more freely in the shaver. Keeps your shaver performing better. Once every 3 shaves or so, I recommend, you know, just washing them under the sink, disassembling the head and washing it under the sink. You can use a light soap and water. I don't recommend a very heavy soap because you definitely don't want to clog your shaver. You definitely don't want to clog up those cutters and discs to where the hairs can't enter the chamber. And you want to use something that, like water, can dry fairly quickly. You know, so that by the time you need to shave again with it, and this is all back together now, by the time that you go back to shave, you don't have you can shave with it. And of course, this is a wet dry razor. I usually just do it dry out of convenience. And now it's put back together. And I actually notice a difference here. You probably don't because I didn't actually run this before we shave, but I can hear by the smoothness of the motor, I can actually get the idea that this thing is running a bit more smoothly now because it's cleaner and there's less dirt and debris obstructing it from doing exactly what it's supposed to do. So, that being said, glad I could do this video for you. Comment below. Hit that like button, ring that bell, and leave a comment if you'd like. And we'll see you in a video sooner or later, ladies and gentlemen. Take care until then.